Hi, welcome to Peanut Daddy Lines. What's the name of the podcast again?
The Anatomy of the Owl.
That's right.
Wow, the first episode of the Anatomy of the Owl.
I messed up so badly.
Oh my gosh, okay, this is...
No, it's fine. Let's just go. I'm
Tops, aka Peanut Buttercup.
I am Cubs, aka the Dandelion in Peanut Dandelions. Let's get it, I guess. So, okay, let me start off by explaining our ranking list, our tier list, and I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. So, we basically are following the American grading system, except we have 2 extra tiers that are added onto it.
Mm-hmm.
Starting from the bottom, we have F tier, which is trash, which means just cancel the whole show because what the fuck was that? D tier, which is BLs that we wouldn't generally recommend, where the premise makes sense, but the execution was just no. Like at every level, the execution sucked. Exactly. C tier, where the show is mediocre at best. Normally, it's like the show itself was pretty okay, but there's something big about it that we would change that would literally change the course of the whole story. B tier is BLs that need touch-ups, with either a few big things must change or a lot of small things about it must change. A tier are very good BLs where it's just a few minor things that must be changed, and S tier, which is the first additional one, is where a few minor wrong one is where they did the best that they could, but it's like pretty close to perfect, but it wasn't. Is plus tier is ones where we would not change a single.
She's that bitch.
She's that bitch.
That
is the hill that we're waiting to die on. Like, go argue with your ancestors. We're not discussing this. I'm not discussing this. Just to establish a few rules, though, we're gonna be trying to be as fair as possible, taking into account budgets and
production company.
Exactly. So
how long they spent on the drama.
Exactly. We're gonna be trying to be as fair as possible and being as unbiased as possible. If you have any disagreements, feel free to leave a comment or, I don't know, send us a voice note or something. I don't slip it up, bro. You must.
Leave a comment somewhere and we might address it. Like, it might be a valid comment where we're like, you know what, you didn't think of that.
Exactly.
You can try the point.
You can try defending your saves.
Yeah, you can. I'm not gonna tell you're gonna be successful.
Exactly.
But you may try.
Yeah. Especially given the fact that we have quite a long history with BLs. Like today we're ranking 91 of these.
Yeah, literally.
We're ranking 91 BLs.
This is probably gonna be split into like 3 episodes
minimum.
It's going to be 3 because we're going in thorough. Like, we need to explain ourselves
exactly
to detail the reason why this drama has to sit where it has to sit.
Exactly. So if you don't agree with us, like we said before, try to defend your fave. We dare you. So starting off our BL ranking tier list is A Man Who Defies the World of BL.
Do you want to tell them how we grouped these like categories? What made us put?
Yeah. So the first group. What was the first one? The first group is mainly like fluffy, funny ones, like ones that are supposed to be funny.
Yeah,
right?
Like, we're not taking them serious. They weren't trying to be serious.
They weren't trying to be serious. So those are the first ones that we're going to be ranking. I think we'll explain the groups as we go along. Once we switch into another group, then we'll explain the other group. So instead of trying to like group
all of them, okay,
exactly. So starting off with the ones that are not supposed to be taken seriously, supposed to be lighthearted, funny, comedic.
Laugh. It's a good time.
Exactly.
You're supposed to have a fun time.
Exactly. Yeah. We have A Man Who Defies the World of BL. Do you want to start us off?
In case someone was confused, there is going to be spoilers. I do advise that you at least have watched some of these dramas.
We're going to be also working off the assumption that you've watched it.
Have watched it.
Like we're not spoiler free. We're not trying to be.
Actually, you know what we should have done is actually read out the synopsis of like each of these before we get in on it.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. We can do that.
Like just to give people an idea that, because sometimes you know the name but you forget what the drama is about.
Mhm.
Like, okay.
So before we start reading the synopsis, A Man Who Defies the World of BL is a Japanese drama. It has 2 seasons, each of those seasons being 4 episodes long.
About 4 episodes.
Yeah, I think. Okay, there's 2 versions of each. It's 4. I think it's 4 because there's 2 versions of each of these. Both of them have been released both as movies, and then both have been released as series as well. So if you're watching the movie version, it's 2 2-hour-long movies, and if you're watching the series version, it's 2 4-episode-long seasons, basically. And those seasons are about 20-something minutes per episode. It's not that long.
Also not a very long drama.
Mm-hmm. I would recommend it if you just want to like burn some time.
Already. So the synopsis it's on my drama list if you wanted to look at it.
It's our main point of reference.
Yeah. So the synopsis goes, it suddenly dawns on Mob that he lives in a BL world. He likes girls, so he must turn down any hot guy who approaches him. But since it is their world, there's just no escaping the public display of affection around every corner.
Exactly.
So, like, that's what we jumped into, having known, okay, it's just a guy in a BL world.
Yeah.
Like, there's some goofy whatever. I feel it's not that serious. You know what? It was a fun. I'll just have to say it was a fun time.
It was.
From the jump, like from episode 1, it's already just like shenanigans, but it's good shenanigans.
It was the best thing I've ever watched. Like, dead ass. From the first episode, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, the thing that I adored so much about it was the fact that from the jump, it was making fun of BL. Say, from the jump. Like, it was every single trope. Exactly. They hit every single trope within, like, the first episode. I was not loud.
Basically, each episode was dedicated to, like, this main trope that, like, the main ones that you usually find.
Exactly.
And then making fun of it. And then within the episodes, there's still sprinkles of other tropes within it.
Exactly.
I think they did a phenomenal job. Like, I enjoyed it thoroughly. Like, it's the kind of drama that you're like, oh, I just want to watch something. I'm busy with something, but I just want to watch.
I just want to watch something.
And then you find yourself binging the entire thing.
Exactly.
This is amazing. I'm sorry, but
it's incredible. Like, not just that, but like the fact that I think the way that they made fun of the BL world also counts for me, because the way that they did it was not in a way where they were mocking BL for existing in the way that it does. They were making fun of BL, sure, and that was the whole premise. But they did so respectfully, because even within them mocking BL, they still made sure to have stories of substance, some substance in between everything. Like, it's not meant
There's definitely dramas that are like a full-on drama that had less substance than the goofy drama.
Exactly.
I do have to say, I do have to commend them on at least trying.
Exactly.
Like, I have to have the names up. Why do I forget the names? I just started. Let me get these titles because I need his name.
Which one? Damn it!
You know the hot guy, the one that is like, oh, this is the ultimate top. The one who dated his little brother. What was his name?
I forgot his name.
Like, what's his name? Their story had substance. It's supposed to be a goofy, light-hearted thing, but
it's actually has something. But what I mean,
there's something actually interesting.
Exactly.
A trope that they are making fun of, like, oh
my god!
But it still had substance. There was still something to actually be discussed.
Exactly. Like it wasn't just like willy-nilly, let's make fun of BL. BL is so stupid.
And they could have easily just done that, because the premise is pretty much just a whole thing.
Exactly.
It could have easily just been a goofy whatever thing, but it had that extra layer of, oh no, they did something here.
They did something. Like, as much as it's literally making fun of BL, it also still acknowledges BL as an art form. Exactly.
Like, we're not going to profit off of making a joke off of this without acknowledging that
It's something. It's a thing. It's bringing. There's a reason why people are fans of this. Like, we can't just have one without the other, and that's what just makes it so incredible. So
That being said, where does the queen sit? Where does she go?
I put her in S plus tier.
I agree. I would change not a thing.
I would not change a thing.
There's not a thing in that drama that I would change at all.
I literally just, I'm sorry. Like, if there anyone who just does not
I
agree.
I can't, because like we said, this tier is near perfect. Like, the drama's near perfect. You wouldn't change anything.
Exactly.
She's that bitch. And that drama's that. Like, what could I possibly change? Like, what could I sit there and be like, I don't like this? Nothing.
She is the queen.
She's a queen.
She's the queen.
I would watch it again. Like, and that's another tier. Like, this tier again is like a drama that, like, on my spare time, I'm be like, yeah, I want to watch this again.
I still do.
I did, like, a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly.
Shit, bro.
Exactly. She is that girl. Okay. Moving on, season 2 to the same girl.
The girl came back, in my opinion, even better.
Yeah.
Like, she came, because, whoa. It's like, the question is, okay, what are you going to do in season 2? Everything in season 1. What could you possibly do?
Our main character even found love, for God's sake.
What they did was give more depth to the characters in season, and they didn't need to. Exactly. Give depth to our main character. Like, in his whole, like, there was this giant metaphor going around about him trying to, like, find his own inner self and, like, find his...
Exactly.
Like, he was running from all these BL couples because he was also running away from the rejection he faced. By the way, if you're not from... At the end of season 1, he after all this running he was doing, so in this world of the BL, right, our main character is basically trying very, very hard to avoid getting into a relationship with a guy.
Yeah.
He likes girls, that's what he's saying. I like girls, I don't want guys. I'm not gonna fall into this trap of the BL world, basically. But at the end of it, he actually, without even realizing, falls into the same trap that everyone else is falling into. Like, he eventually finds his guy, like, he's pairing his top, if you will.
His person.
He finally finds his person. And so coming into season 2, we're like, what are they going to do with that? Like, what are we going to do?
Like, are they going to be developing more of the relationship? What are they going to be doing, essentially? And I don't know, man. They did such a good job of, like, because spoiler alert, at the beginning of the second season, they actually break up.
Yes, spoiler, guys.
Like, they break up because he has to move away or something like that. I don't even remember exactly what it was. It was a misunderstanding.
Yeah, it was a misunderstanding.
It was a misunderstanding breakup. And it's Japan. You like
that Japan is known for their misunderstanding.
It's
like the main trope. The main trope
is misunderstanding. They're often fighting because of a misunderstanding.
And throughout the drama, like, he's once again avoiding all these couples. Like, it's once again a man who's trying to defy the world of BL.
Yeah.
He's also working through this heartbreak that he's not willing to face. He's not facing the fact that, wow, I actually got rejected. I don't have a person. Like, it's, oh my God, it's just so beautiful. I don't know how to explain it, but in this drama, right, while he's running away from all these couples and all these, there's this longing he has within him. Like, I'm running away. I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm going to try my best to avoid
my own
emotions. But, like, there is this longing he has within him where he's looking at all these couples and he's like,
I want that for myself. I low-key miss my person.
I miss my person. Like, he watches his brother in his own relationship and sees how the things that are going on there, and he's looking at it and he's like, I wish exactly. But at the same time, he's still being the man who defies the world of BL.
Because he's still rejecting himself.
Yes, essentially.
So,
and I was like, you guys didn't need to go that deep.
You did it. Exactly. Like, literally, like, it's just done so well. I literally, I'm just like,
and y'all need to understand, this is a comedy. The way we're explaining it you might be thinking it's angsty.
We're uncovering the deeper layers that go behind the comedy, because the comedy itself is resting on something that is much deeper than what it looks like on the surface. But if you're just there for jokes and for laughs,
still perfectly it's on all mark.
Exactly. So she's going with her sister S plus tier.
S plus tier.
The queens.
They control it together.
Exactly.
Like,
now we're gonna pivot a little bit more into something. We're gonna like
leave Japan for a second.
we're gonna leave Japan.
Take a little plane ride
Into Thailand.
Our fave.
Our fave. The place that introduced us to BL in the first.
Literally, the originator.
The queen herself. With Secret Crush on You. So
Hi, how are you? So, like, those are different because the man that defies the world of BL is kind of like a niche, like, you know.
it's
like,
niche. Nobody really knows it. Secret Crush on You, I think, blew up quite a lot.
I think a lot of people know it.
Because we're also on like TikTok and stuff. So I saw a lot of people talking about it. And I'd just like to say I'm sorry if this is your favorite because I'm about to put some shit on it. I'm so sorry.
After you have the first two dramas only for us.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna dunk on Secret Crush on You a little bit.
Alright, let me hit you guys with the synopsis in case you don't know. But it's discover the secret of a nerdy young man who falls in love with a third-year senior because of his I'm sorry. Because his dream is so far from reach, observing is the only thing he can do. Kachao. I am not fluent in any of these languages. So the pronunciation of these names,
It's not gonna be the best. Sorry, guys.
Kachao told me I was falling in love so, and I was seriously sick. Daisy said I was gay, but I think I'm a completely novice stalker. But what happens when this one auspicious day that the world devises an opportunity for Do to make himself known to Noah? Those are our two main characters, by the way.
Do and Noah.
The person that he's been in love with for a long time. The unforeseen opportunity produces head-spinning chaos for Do and the gang.
Mm-hmm.
Whether Do keeps his love a secret that must be hidden or acts with daring and recklessness, the heart is not up to it, and the opportunity is not easy to find. Will it work or will it fail?
It'll fail for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, waiting.
For me,
This one, you see, we can't be vague with this one, but we have to get into it.
we have to get into it. So with this one in particular, personally, okay, so the way that they shot it, it was good. It was immaculate. It was shot well. The uniforms in line, bro. If they sold it on merch, exactly. If I could buy that uniform, I would personally.
That is personally the best uniform I've seen in any drama. And I'm not Asian drama.
Exactly.
Best uniform. Slapped, it was beautiful.
I'm gonna just outright say though, like the first initial reason why we even watched this in the first place was because it was produced by Saint. So I was like, I have to do it for the culture. Saint is one of the, for me, he was in the first drama that got me to be in the first place. We will talk about it later. But she's coming. She is coming. We have things to say about her. But for me, I was like, I'm gonna watch it because it's being produced by Saint. Like, you know, like I have to do it for the culture.
The rest. Other than Saint,
I would not. Yeah, I'll do it. Like the premise itself is not really that interesting. It's to be entirely honest.
A basic premise.
It is.
We are kind of veteran BL watchers. As people who have been there since back in the day, we see our body nerdy guy,
Exactly.
So
it was nothing. It was not giving what it was trying to give. But we watched it. And the first thing I have to say is the fact that the comedy was not for me.
The comedy was not for me.
It was not for me.
I was laughing.
I was laughing, but I was not laughing at what they wanted me to laugh at.
100%.
And that was the problem.
That was the issue.
Exactly. Because of the fact that what they portrayed as like the comedy, I would genuinely end up feeling sorry for the characters in question.
Second-hand embarrassment.
Bro, not just the second-hand embarrassment, but even the whole part of Thor having to be like a stalker and his impulsive and his all collecting thing. I genuinely felt sorry for him. Like, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny.
And then clearly in an obsessive
Exactly.
like, this is some OCD stuff.
Exactly.
I couldn't laugh.
I couldn't laugh at that, and that was what they were intending for me to laugh at. And then the thing that they weren't intending for me to laugh at, I was in stitches on the floor. I was literally laughing so hard. Like, for example, those moments where, like, the friends cried. Like, God. I never had to.
From that first crying scene up until the what?
Why am I crying?
Like, did I miss the plot? Like, Pops and I were discussing as well. Maybe we'll understand later why they cry.
Exactly.
As a group like this. The conclusion is that they just have attachment issues.
Exactly.
That's all we got to. But like, we were trying to make up our own theories on like, oh, maybe
one had a crush, one got heartbroken, and now they're all feeding it. No, they never really got over it. No, it never gets resolved. They just have attachment issues.
They didn't name my friends are weird, but I was like, crying over a crush. Like, sorry, it's just not the
lie. It's never happening. Although, like, I think the most confusing part about this drama for me was I don't know if it was intended for young adult audiences or if it was intended for kids. Because the humor was giving exactly because the humor that they were giving wasn't really a humor that required any deeper level of thinking. Even the insults, they were like insults. But then you get to the last episode, and you see that they're making reference to things that like to old movies and old things, and it's like, but you wouldn't understand this if you were way younger. So like, I don't think it knew its demographic. It was a bit off with that. Like, it wasn't
that was the weird part. I wish they wouldn't with the humor. Like, it's kind of weird.
It was weird humor.
We've been banking on it for quite a bit. How about we say some positives?
Because they are positives. It's not all bad. Yeah. But okay, the first thing that I would say that I really loved about it, the display of different types of relationships. Because what this BL did and other BLs failed to do is show different types of relationships in different capacities, right? Yeah. So we had a GL couple, like we had a lesbian couple, we had a trans couple, we had also gay couples, and we also had like a straight couple, but it was kind of alluded to certainly. Not to the straight couple. Maybe like they see you straight people. It's not for you, but we see you, right? So the fact that they were able to like handle all these different types of relationships is my favorite part about it. Though I do have to say that I have a bit like of an issue with it because of the fact that they didn't show enough of the other types of couples.
I agree. It was very disproportionate in terms of the representation that they were giving. Yeah, there was a lot of Do and Kacha, obviously, because they're the main couple and couple.
Yeah.
But justice with Daisy, that's story I want to see out. Like, I fell in love with that story. Like,
a Daisy as a character. Daisy's arc from the beginning of Daisy being confident in the fact that no, I am Daisy, I am she, I am here, I am present, to her going and starting to be insecure in her femininity because of the fact that now she's being made fun of and she doesn't know how to face that, to her person coming in and being like, hey, you know what? I like you the way that you are. I don't necessarily need you to be all masculine. I don't want you to change your identity because I fell in love with Daisy for who Daisy is.
100.
Girl,
I love that story. I wish we spent like more time on it. I thought it was like it's okay. So my favorite thing in general with the show was the whole self-image, self-identity
thing.
Everyone,
the way that they tackled it,
everyone was great. Everyone was going through it at different levels. Dog, Kajal, Daisy. Some they kind of did a little dirty as well. Fortunately, she was straight and we used
that's not for you. It's not for you. Not for you.
Well, you'll exist, but like, you know, we're not going to argue that. You're not the spotlight. Yeah, you're not the spotlight. But I did love that they had that element to all those characters, and then they were like, okay, how are we gonna go about and failing this whole thing?
Exactly.
So when Daisy's one came along, I was like, because Daisy could have easily been like a one-dimensional character. That is, she could have easily just been like the flamboyant, like, oh, I'm part of it, you know, part of the joke thing. But no, we brought it full circle. She got her boyfriend touch, and then like, okay, fine, they gave Daisy a boyfriend, but no, she came back and she was like, you know, I love who I am, but recently, like, I've been feeling more insecure. Like, now that I'm with Touch and I'm hanging out with these friends, I'm thinking, is this a bit much?
And I being too much.
Am I being too much? Because like, you know, she's not used to that. Obviously she's around her friends who are very, like her friends are
very accepting, really very accepting.
Yeah. Outside of her comfortable environment, now she's out into the real world and she sees how other people react to her being her. Like now those doubts start to seep in. Like,
and not just shut, but even the way that her being her affects touch by proxy.
Exactly.
Like, because now people are going to be judging touch, looking at Daisy, being like, okay, so this is the type of person that you want to. So like, you know, like
yeah. So she had to sit back and be like, okay, you know what? For touch's sake,
let me change myself. Yeah.
Like, trying to make myself a little more masculine.
Exactly.
So people are not like looking at him some type of way. I love that story. And then for her to come, like for her to realize, no, I'm perfect the way I am. Like, like,
I like you.
I like you for you. Like, regardless of what version of you bring, I like you. I love that.
Dude,
I love that.
And don't be mistaken, because her whole arc like takes about 2 episodes.
Yeah. It's, you've never watched it before. You think, wow, that's so amazing. I want to get into it. It is a very like small arc.
It is.
It's an appreciated one.
It's a very appreciated,
very small. I would have liked more.
This is us basically highlighting the best part about it, and the best part about it doesn't take more.
It's bad because I haven't even touched on the main couple and the side couple. They're like the main story. Like, it's okay. Main and side couple. Main couple. Don't know.
No.
Cute. They're cute though. No, they hard on them. Yeah, it's been a little hard. They are cute. However,
if you must, let me just give you a friendly warning. This BL focuses mainly on Do and Nua, rightfully so, because they are main.
Yeah, they are
just right. But my God, when I tell you that the first about 3 episodes were so hard to get through, they were so like,
God, my God,
those are so like obsessive towards Nua. To an uncomfortable level.
It's like sussing behavior.
Exactly.
Like it's digging through his trash to get his.
Exactly. Literally, no matter what Nua does, Thaw is just like worshipping the ground that this man is walking on. And
at this point, right? So here's my big thing. I mean, obviously we all have crushes before, and a lot of our crushes, literally, it does come from the fact that we found them attractive.
Yeah.
They are. We found them attractive.
Yeah, that's about it.
And that was fine. But Do's level of obsession would give like hint to like, or maybe do you know more about Nua besides
the fact that he's attractive?
But no, well, what we learned as time went on was like at their core, at their bases, Do just found him attractive. That's all it was. Like, and at least with Nua had to say like him. It wasn't just like, oh, I just found him attractive. Like there were levels to it.
Yeah.
Kind of a weirdo, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're weird.
You're like, weird, and I kind of like that.
With Nua, it was very hard as the story went on to like kind of figure out, okay, what is it exactly
that you see in him?
Yeah, that you see in him. I mean,
especially given the fact that Nua at the beginning really was not being kind towards Do in any capacity. He was very mean.
He was very mean. He was. Oh my God, he was mean.
He was mean. He was throwing his presents out, and like he was doing all these things to just show him that like.
And Do was in that shut up, like
bro, like Do did not care, and that's where my main issue lies.
Yeah, at the beginning, like this couple. I'm sorry. Another thing is right. So at some point, there's this misunderstanding where Do is under the assumption that Nua is under the assumption that Do likes somebody else, right? And this man. Like, I don't know how to explain his actions. No one was out here, like, doing shit like, oh, like, I'm gonna keep you to myself. Like,
yeah.
We're gonna, actually, how do I explain the whole situation? I just feel that
he was basically like,
giving me the ick.
Okay, he was. Because basically he was taking action to ensure that Doss stayed on the hook, without actually committing to Do in any capacity.
And so this is working under the assumption that Do doesn't even like him. It's not even a thing of where he thinks Do likes him.
Exactly.
It's like, no, he's being a sneaky ass bitch.
Exactly.
Like, the actions that he was taking were very, very weird. At some point he thought that Do liked Touch. And like when Touch was playing into the whole thing, like I don't know what Touch was doing.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why he did that. But when Touch was playing into the whole thing, Nua would go into possessive mode. But it's like, I know for all the girlies, oh my God, it's so cute, he's being so possessive.
Yes, controlling.
It's controlling because you are working on the assumption that I don't like you.
Exactly.
Where do you get the right to cock block me?
Exactly.
Why the fuck are you cock blocking me?
Why are you overstepping those boundaries? It has nothing to do with you.
It really doesn't. Gubs, please, I'm going to paint a picture for you guys because people may be not understanding. Gubs and I are friends, right?
Yeah.
So I like you, Gubs, and I have feelings for you.
Yeah.
But I think you like somebody else.
Yeah.
Where do I get the capacity and right to cock block that situation?
Exactly.
Am I still the good just because I'm jealous?
No.
I'm an asshole.
Especially when you're now working off of the assumption that I find the other person attractive.
Exactly.
Like, what? Why? Where do you get the right?
Actually, not only that I'm working on an assumption that you find, I think he also likes. I think both of you are into each other.
And I want to ruin that.
And I'm out here trying to bulldoze through it.
Exactly.
But it's cute, hey?
It's supposed to be a pen.
No, BLs, you will not convince me.
It's not cute.
Speaking of people who are not fucking cute, the side couple. Oh, put so many people off. Like, I'm gonna put so many people off.
Sky was trash.
Sky was trash.
Sky was trash.
Guys,
I'm sorry.
it was not cute.
It was not cute. Sky knew no boundaries.
There was no boundaries there.
Sky knew no boundaries. Listen, I don't care if he was acting out of the whole defense mechanism of, hey, I don't necessarily, like, I'm going to push back because I'm insecure. I do not care if those were the basis of his actions. If somebody says no, it's no. You don't cross that bound. You don't get a right to force somebody to continuously hang out with you just because you find them attractive. Because Sky the entire time was working off of the whole premise of, hey, I find him attractive,
Yeah.
but I don't know how he feels about me. Sky did not know. Sky is trash. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Dude, the minute you start giving me ultimatums like get in the car or bro, bitch, no. Ultimatums are like you're coming home with me or what? I said no.
Like when you're
And the thing is, Kajal didn't even say no one time. Multiple those people style like that.
Exactly. You have to anyway. Literally, like Kajal would literally sit there. Like Kajal would literally sit there and be like, "No, I'm uncomfortable. No, I don't want this. No, I don't want to come along with you." And we, as the audience, of course, we're able to see on the side that no, he's secretly smiling and
Yeah, or whatever.
But Sky does not know.
That's the big thing. That's what people are not. And like, I think
That's what the point is. Exactly.
yeah, we as the audience, we know that Do and Kajal, they don't like Sky and Noah.
Exactly. I know that.
But they do.
They don't know. That's the issue.
That's the issue.
That's the issue.
They are working on their own needs. Oh, I want to be.
I'm being selfish at this moment. I don't care if you like me back. I am going to move because of my own motives. I'm going to move and make sure that I get my affection back because I want my affection back. I don't care.
I did not like that.
I also did.
And of course, in the BL world, we know that they're going to end up together at the end. So we like it's these like blind shit. Like what is the fucking
the shielders, the shielders, the side shielders,
the side shielders that we put on when we're watching a BL, and when we see that it's toxic. Because if a villain was doing this, for example, right? Say Sky was the villain of the story.
Yeah,
wasn't actually supposed to be Kajal's partner.
We would be like, what the hell was he doing?
But because we know that they appear they're gonna end up together at the end, we like it's fine, it's mine, it's cute. No, it was not.
It wasn't.
And friends sitting in front of me. I am saying no to a guy, and he asks you guys to say, dude, I'm not my friend anymore. No,
You helped him after I said no. You went and
oh my god, wait, there's a scream. I needed to stop. I was like, guys, the friend is not even the friend. I feel it's the only scene where the friends were like, oh, at least no. Yeah, we're helping. They played a game of that. They have this card game that they play. Where, what's it called?
I forgot what it's called.
Whatever it's called, but basically you draw a card, you get a partner, and you and the partner have to do whatever is like on the card.
Yeah.
And the rule at this particular point was, if you don't want to do it, you can say no, but you have to pay a fee. Tell me why, right? Sky and Kajal, they got the whole they have to kiss card.
Of course.
And Kajal was like, I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah.
And they were like, pay up. Don't being the good friend he was, he was like,
I got your money. Like,
pass him the money secretly. everything's sorted, right? We shouldn't have a back and forth. Tell me why Sky was like, no, I have to say no too.
Like, change the rules out of nowhere.
What is the consent? What is the consent? Like, what does that mean?
That was literally all levels of consent have been violated.
I'm only joining this game because y'all said I can say no.
You said I can say no.
But now when I'm saying no, that I'm no, we both have to say no. No.
You guys.
Sky. Sky is the worst one. Sky is the worst one. Noah wasn't the best.
Thing is, I feel like this BL, it really threw Sky under the bus to the point where Noah looks good by comparison when Noah himself was also trash.
Yeah, no,
nobody is good. I don't like it.
The only person who is Touch. Touch and Daisy did the most.
Like, they're the only ones that I'm rooting
for. The other two couples for majority of the show, it was toxic and like it was not okay.
I didn't like
that because eventually they got together. We had to kind of overlook all of that. But scenario, we would have not. Anyways, when they got together, shit was cute. I can't deny it. It was cute.
After they got together, but prior to it, no.
Because then there was also levels of consent now when they're together.
They were being very pieces.
Sky. He knew what consent was when they started dating.
Suddenly he knew what boundaries were.
I was like, Sky was doing things like, oh, I won't kiss you until you're ready.
And then proceeded to kiss him before he said, I'm ready.
Like, what is going on? You say all the right things when you do all the wrong things.
But then you do all the wrong things. Like, he doesn't actually follow through with his actions.
Lord help mercy. Anyways, you said,
that being said,
where do we place this cute little...
I personally can't place it higher than a C.
What is the
where something must change?
I also agree.
It like something that must change. That's gonna shift the entirety of it. Must change because out of like good conscious and consciousness and trying to be fair, is nowhere.
It's mediocre.
It's mediocre at best. It is
because also at the end of the day, and all those things that we mentioned, cool, fine, whatever. But the premise itself is not anything unique. It is the standard like nerd falls in love with the hot guy. Hot guy so happens to like him too. They get together,
and to its credit, most of my cons with it are in the beginning half.
Yes,
the second half there is quite a lot of character growth.
Yeah,
for most, if not all, the characters, like all of them have developed and became better by the end.
Yeah, there's just something better at the end. Sky gets better. Everybody gets better at the end. But like, well, dude, the thing is, it's not like they were getting better and we acknowledged that before. What they're doing was not okay. It's mainly just forget that they did that stuff.
Exactly.
They get it now.
They didn't actually have that arc of growth, so they didn't actually have to face the consequences of anything that they did. So
C tier. Mediocre at best, indeed.
Okay, now Terry Magic, the ultimate. Oh my god,
Bob has a lot to say about it.
I have a lot to say about this one. You guys understand? Just everything. Read the premise.
I want to take another flight back to Japan.
Yeah, but like we're going back to Japan.
A little round trip. Where the hell is the premise?
We're going back to Japan again.
Oh my god. Okay, so premise is, oh my god, pop-ups.
Okay.
Adachi is a regular salary man who at the age of 29 is still a virgin. On his 30th birthday, he suddenly finds himself acquiring a new power, the ability to read people's minds whenever he touches them. Shocked and unnerved by this new ability, he struggles to cope. That is until one day he accidentally touches a handsome and popular fellow office worker.
I'm sorry.
Kurosawa Yuchi. Only to find out that Kurosawa actually has secret romantic feelings for him. How will Adachi cope with this new revelation?
Oh my god! Like, okay, if you weren't able to tell before, I'm completely in love. I am in love. Kurosawa. Consent. First, let's start. Consent. The amount of consideration that this man has for Adachi.
The hottest thing ever.
It's the hottest thing about him. The amount of consideration, the amount of care, the amount of lack of expectation of him reciprocating. He understood that his emotions are his emotions alone, and he has no right to place any pressure on Adachi. And that, like, you guys don't understand. Selfless love to me is peak type of love. Like, peak. Oh my god, he did nothing wrong. Literally, from the beginning.
It's so hard to find a perfect top.
Literally,
just a perfect.
Literally,
because there's always that one thing that they do where you're like,
what's wrong with you?
Why good?
Exactly.
So well, but that's things. But just
what are you doing? That was a stupid thing. Why would you do that?
This man.
Oh my gosh, guys.
I really appreciated his understanding and patience that he had for Adachi. Quite frankly, and Adachi was not an easy person to be patient with. I worry, and he was not. This man had the power to read people's minds. Overthinking.
He was overthinking. He was dealing with feelings of guilt with certain things. Adachi is he's very cowardly in his character, right?
Yeah.
He's not a character that's very, very confident in himself. He's very insecure. He doesn't know how to handle it. But the level of understanding that Kurosawa had for that, and the level of patience, bro. Patience. He literally was sitting with him in that moment, and he was like, you know what? I understand that I can't push Adachi any further. I understand that even if I like him, I can't, even when his feelings, my favorite part about him, even when his feelings got way too much to the point where he felt like he couldn't keep quiet about it anymore, he was frank with Adachi, and he was like, do not feel responsible for my feelings. I do not want you to feel guilty, but just understand that I like you, and I can't hold it in anymore, so I can't be around you anymore. Listen, I think it.
He's just the perfect guy. He was written for perfection. He can tell that there are certain characters that are written. For example, a little call back to Noah. Noah was written to be perfect.
Exactly.
My God, was he not?
He wasn't an only man, though. He was. He was actually perfect. He was so considerate. He was patient. He took time. He wasn't rushing him. He literally let Adachi work at Adachi's pace. And I think that's the best part about him, that I just was like,
it's so rare that you just admire you, bro. Like the perfect top. Literally is the perfect top.
Literally. There's literally nothing about it, honestly.
I couldn't fault him or the story.
I couldn't. Actually, no.
Actually, no. You have to remind me.
I have to remind you. There is a part of the story that I would fault. The side couple.
Oh, yeah, why? I forget about those. They were such a non-factor. They didn't take
They just take a lot of space.
But now they were. Yeah, they were a factor. They were. Okay, I would hold the side couple more.
They were the part of the comedic side.
Yeah, there is a comedic side.
And they weren't my favorite. They weren't either. Yeah, I didn't like the progression of their relationship. I didn't like majority of what they did. They had and I get that at some point they did end up resolving their communication issues, because they also had communication issues and stuff. But I don't know, that couple, there were bits and pieces of toxicity within that couple. Because there was a bit of an imbalance in terms of personality, right? Because one has a really strong personality, and the act of having a really strong personality versus the other one not having really a strong personality, that in itself is not a problem for me, right? But it's the fact that the other one, he just never came back and down to that other one's level. You know what I mean? like to Adachi's friend's like level.
I see.
You know what I mean? Because he understands that Adachi's friend is a bit of he's a recluse, right? He's a person who doesn't really understand how to like socialize properly and whatever. And he understood that he was basically worshipping the ground that he walked on.
Yeah.
Right? But he never had a moment where he was like, okay, no. Slow it down. You and I are on the same level. Let's communicate. He never really had that moment.
You see, this drama, I tend to forget things. I'm the kind of person that, like, when I find something that's amazing, I tend to forget the shit part of it.
Everything, like,
literally, like, that talk overshadows the The main couple really overshadowed the entire story. I mean, they're the main couple.
They're the main couple, so they should.
I just have blanks in memories when it comes to other people where I'm just like, I know I didn't like that situation, but details.
It doesn't really.
But like, every time about it, I'm like,
no, there was things about it that I didn't really like. Like, also just the level of, and I guess that they did solve it off camera, like the communication issues, where they were like talking about the one bit where he bought him a bicycle and they had a whole conversation and then that was all in, right?
Yeah.
But like, just that couple, it just doesn't do it for me. There's a bit of an imbalance.
So what are we saying in terms of like how are we weighting this amazing main couple versus this?
The side couple just wasn't necessary.
The side couple is mediocre at best, and but the main couple is super superior. So where does it fall? In superior?
Oof.
Or very good. Those are the, like.
I think it's gonna have to go to very good.
Very good.
I think it's going to have to go.
That side couple really,
they brought it down because if we're going to be fair, right? The side couple doesn't really have a big flaw. It's minor things that we would change, but they would change the flaw.
Yeah, they definitely would change.
So, out of good faith,
let's be fair.
Let's be fair. As much as I love Terry Music, we have to be fair.
Let's be fair. It was just very good.
It was very good. It's a really good drama. I would recommend it to probably anybody, but
I was same. But like you said, blanks in my memories when it comes to certain things.
Okay, so up next on our list we have Fokou-kun wa Kissunu Shikanai, also known as Unlucky-kun has no choice but to kiss.
I'm just gonna really look up that because I can't check.
Unlucky-kun has no choice but to kiss. So we're still staying in Japan.
Yeah, we're still in Japan. I'm sorry we took a tour to Thailand and then
you're going to go as you go along.
As you go along, you're gonna have to like come on the plane with us.
We're literally jumping back and forth.
But with Japan, you will find that a lot of the Japanese dramas are on the lighthearted, just that they're not trying to be serious. That's
most of them are that.
Like, that's just Japan in a nutshell. Like, but anyways, why do they like? I'm so bad with names. Lord help me. Like, are you gonna read?
Or do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay, so. The premise says Fukuhara Kota, I think it's how you say it, is a college student who has had bad luck that causes problems everywhere he goes. One day he runs into Shinomoya Naoya, a fellow student with the opposite problem, super good luck. Shinomiya decides to help him out. Now, in order to divide the luck between them, they need to be with each other all the time.
So, starting off, like we said before, like Japan is like the land of the misunderstandings.
Yeah.
So you'll find that there will be quite a few misunderstandings in this. Not as much as our, like, other traumas, but like there is misunderstandings. So with this one, right, we're starting off with our main character. First of all, they started by displaying his actual bad luck. I like that we got to see that this man really is unlucky. It's not even like it's not bad luck. Like it's like he just has bad luck.
It's
like,
bad.
I like that they show that because when now he's desperate to get that good luck that he gets from his partner. We understand like why you're so desperately trying to get, like, he's desperate enough that he's willing to pretend to be in a relationship with him.
He's willing to pretend to be somebody he's not.
Just to get that bit of luck. Because here's the thing, right? So he's unlucky, all these things happen. And then the first time he realizes, oh, shit, that actually went well. Like, typically in this situation, I would have broken off. And
something would have happened.
But I'm good. Notices it, doesn't think much of it. So he's like, man, it seems like
there might be a correlation.
There might be a correlation here because I know he's super lucky. Everyone calls him super lucky guy. Might it be that when I'm around this guy, like my bad luck vanishes? And that and honestly, if they do not show like the bad luck that he has properly, you might have thought to yourself, man, this is some asshole behavior. But honestly, knowing that he's like shit, his bad luck is the kind that would land him in a hospital. Like
it would. He could die.
He could die. It's the kind of bad luck he has. And and so for him, it's like, okay, his first thing, and like honestly, his first plan wasn't as like, it wasn't a cruel plan.
It wasn't as sinister.
Yeah, let me just hang out with him. Let me be friends
with him. Like, let me always hang out and be around him all the time.
Which was his first plan. But then that's when the first misunderstanding happens where with the guy name. Give me the name of the guy.
It is Shinomiya. Wait, no? Yeah, Shinomiya.
Is it Shinomiya? Okay, Shinomiya mistakes that for him actually asking him out. So he asked him, can you please be friends? But he doesn't word it that way. That's the thing with these Japanese dramas.
They always be saying,
they always say things weirdly. Like, you could have easily said, let's be friends forever, let's hang out all the time. You said, what the fuck did he say? But he said something.
I think you said, can you be by my side forever? Something like that. I think
and then the other guy was like, oh, spoiler, by the way, we need to give we only found this around like the end, but like I need to give it to you here for you to understand. Yeah, this guy has had a thing
he has had a crush on him for the
longest time. So on Fokou-kun, it makes sense now when this guy coming to him and being like, let's stay together, or
then he can be by my side for forever. And then Shinomiya internalizes that as, oh, Fukuhara has always been noticing me the way I've been noticing him as well.
Let's do that.
Exactly, let's be in a relationship.
This man goes for the kiss even. Like, this man, like, he didn't even, like, I was like,
first episode.
I was like, dude, like, what a leap you took, bro. I was like, interesting.
They didn't even think about it.
And this guy, his bad luck is so bad that he was like, fucking, I'll be gay.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, it's gay. I was like, God, I just thought about that. I guess now he just date this guy. Like, because he, in his mind, he's like, the alternative is telling him that, no, I didn't mean it in that way. And
I'm saying my good luck
off entirely. I can't. Okay. Let me just go with it. That in itself is asshole behavior. Like, obviously, you're lying to a person and deceiving them.
Yeah.
But, like I said, the desperation, it's not like an excuse or anything. We're not saying it's an excuse.
It's not an excuse, but the desperation makes sense when you see it in context.
Yes, the desperation makes sense.
So, especially, I think for me, this was especially highlighted in the sequence of events when they were trying to go on a date with each other. And then they had to meet up. That sequence, I fully understood why he was so desperate.
I was like, left his house to meet up with this person. He was like, okay, we're gonna meet up in get this out.
I think it was like a fair or something like that.
We'll meet in the middle.
Like
a lunch. Let's meet like 2 o'clock. This man left his house at 9 p.m. He was like, I have to leave the house early. I know the amount of shit I'm gonna encounter for me to meet late. He was wearing protective gear. It looked dramatic as hell.
It looked dramatic until you actually see it in play, and it's like, you know what? I see it. I see why you are so desperate.
Our guy showed up at 6 p.m. He showed up
that night. It's the evening. That's when they were able to actually meet.
He showed up with paint all over him, clothes torn, bro, disheveled looking, looked like he'd been like, bro, attacked by animals, bro, food in his hair. It's insane. Like, I would be the same. If I
would have done the exact same.
I had that bad luck. And I found someone who was extremely lucky, whose luck rubs off on me. I'm sorry.
I'm going to take advantage of that.
I was taking advantage. Like, this is not fair. Like, I didn't ask for this bad luck.
Neither did I. Like, I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm desperate. That's what it comes down to. Like, his desperation taken into context makes sense.
It makes sense.
And it's why, like, I genuinely can't fault them.
What I can't fault in particular is the way we came about this. So obviously this is a selfish thing to do. It's quite obvious that he's selfishly lying to this guy about
Yeah.
The way he came to that realization and how he thought, oh shit, I'm an asshole for this. I laughed. So to give context, right? In this drama, like I said, this guy is the luckiest guy on earth. And just about most people around him tend to take advantage of that, whether knowingly or unknowingly. Take advantage. What's his name? The bottom, fuck it. Fokou-kun witnessed this firsthand. Witnessed from the outside someone taking advantage of Shinomiya. Like, for the first time, he looked from the outside and saw
somebody actively trying to take advantage of his luck.
And he got pissed. He got pissed, got sad and depressed, like, oh shit, that's sad. And then he got pissed.
Because now he was like, Fokou-hara is more than his luck.
Literally. And then he was
Shinomiya.
Shinomiya. And he had to now look into himself and be like, I am no better than all assholes taking advantage of you, because I'm doing the exact same thing that they're doing, except that I'm having my own justifications of, I have bad luck. But I'm exactly the same. Like, he's more than just his good luck. But what have I been using him for? Just his good luck.
I'm literally the same.
I love that scene so much, bro. Like, I loved it because, like, it came, I don't know. Once again, it's a lighthearted drama. It doesn't need to be serious. It could have went on the way it was going, and we could have kikied and laughed the entire way. But no, they came back and they were like, no, you need to do some internalized shit. You need to actually reflect on yourself. You have been an asshole. Like, you could just keep saying I've been an asshole, but seeing it from the outside, how you technically are.
This is a reflection of your actions. It's perfect. It was done really well.
It was done really well. Like,
it was done really, really, really well. It was done really well. And I also do have to point out that another thing that I really do like about this drama is the fact that even in showing Fokou-hara's bad luck, they did show that his bad luck tends to be everybody else's good luck. They didn't like frame it as if, no, he has just bad luck and it's all these bad things happening. It's that even when he's unlucky, he finds still the time to help people out. For example,
decent guy. Like, he wasn't just an asshole. Like, he was a nice guy. Like, he talked to everyone on campus. Like, if someone needed help, he would help out. He was a decent guy. And a lot of it was that, like, he was also trying to hide his bad luck. Like, funny. If people find out that I have this bad luck, it might mess with me. Exactly. I don't want people to have to go through the same shit. Like, he was just the person, like, I just want to be a normal student. And let's just a normal life. I did like him. I did like him as well. Like, Japan just knows what to do, bruh. Like, they really do understand the assignment. Like, they actually go beyond the assignment. Like, the assignment was just, it didn't need to go that deep. It genuinely didn't. Like, come on, just give us a comedy. But then the student came back to class and said, yeah, no, you said give me.
Exactly.
They let the other fall. Exactly. There's this extra sheet that needs to be at the top pages. They came with it. Exactly. I thought it was great. Exactly. That being said, where will we put this gem of, like, drama?
Okay, so, Okay, given everything taken into context, I would probably, I don't know, I'm a bit torn. I don't want to put it in super superior.
I'm also looking at the super superior and I'm like, I don't think it's super superior, but
especially the ending.
Yeah.
The ending,
like, there's some goofy, but at the end of the day, it's a Japanese drama.
It's Japanese drama, and like, so it had like goofy comedy elements to it. But unlike A Man Who Defies the World of VR, right? The goofy element thing wasn't necessarily a consistent part of this whole thing. So
completely
it felt like it came out of left field. Like, that area was not a necessary thing.
It just did not fit. It was very jarring because as you're watching the drama, you kind of like sitting there like, what?
Exactly. I feel like it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't conjoin.
You feel like you skipped an episode.
Like,
basically, God, if you've never watched this before, there's a scene where the body, I'm sorry, at Fokou-hara,
yeah, gets held
in his apartment as a hostage.
Literally.
By someone who came in and was like, no, I'm holding it. You don't understand. This is like a lighthearted, just for jokes.
Oh, like, everybody's about to die. Like, and then the only reason why he gets let go in the first place is because of the fact that apparently the person who was holding him hostage, their ex-boyfriend who they miss so much, looks like Shinomiya. And that's Shinomiya's luck, I guess. And even the gun that they had was a toy gun. So it's like, that, it felt so jarring. I don't know.
What are we doing there? Like, that was bizarre. And that is something I would change.
1,000%.
And thus, I think it's just sitting superior. Like, I think, like, it's that thing I would change. Like, the overall story. Like, the overall story can stay the same.
The overall story, just the ending.
That ending, that thing. Like, why did we do that?
That was not, I think superior would be.
Like, other than that, like, you were doing so well. Like, I just...
Honestly, yeah. Okay, so I think this is going to be the last one for this episode. But let's now get into Kieta Hatsukoi, which is also Vanishing, my first love.
I have a fresh memory of this one.
Something that I saw somebody on TikTok referring to as basically the Japanese version of Heartstopper. Somebody referred to it as that. I don't remember who it was, but
it's flat. It's just warm vibes, fluff, cute shit.
Premise first. Okay, wait, let me put it up first. It's still going, but yeah, it's are they in uni or are they high school? It's uni.
High school.
Is it high school?
It was just
high school. Yeah. I have like the memory of a chicken. I have the memory of a chicken.
This is the precious one.
Yeah. So okay. Premise goes, Aoki has a crush on Hashimoto, the girl in the seat next to him in class, but he despairs when he borrows her eraser and sees she's written the name of another boy, Ida, on it. To make matters more confusing, Ida sees Aoki holding that very eraser and thinks Aoki has a crush on.
When I tell you that Japan is the mother of misunderstandings,
literally,
this drama is like the perfect example.
It's the pinnacle of it.
This drama is a walking misunderstanding.
Literally.
Like, from the premise to just about everything that happens, it's just misunderstanding after misunderstanding. And do I love it? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Because as much as that trope annoys me elsewhere, there is something about it. Like, I think it's the characters themselves. Even though there's a lot of misunderstandings that would frustrate me, the characters themselves, like, they just bring it back where I'm like, but I like you.
Exactly.
I just like you. Essentially, right? Essentially, what I love about this drama is that, so this is like the perfect story of like just two teenagers who don't know what the fuck they do. Right?
Literally,
like, it's like they don't know what they're doing. They have zero experience with anything. They're just feeling these emotions and
they're trying to navigate.
They're trying to navigate through the entirety of the situation with these emotions. But both of them, unfortunately, are textbook overthinkers.
Yeah.
Like, my God. They're textbook overthinkers, and the friends and the
themselves are like, they try it. Everybody has the best of intentions.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Everybody is acting out of the best of intentions, but because of the fact that they're acting from their limited perspective, everybody's just messing everything up. What are you doing?
Like, I tell you, like, the amount of misunderstandings that just come up because of just, bro, the wording of how people speak.
Yeah.
Presentation of different people.
Exactly.
Not the different relationships. So there's so many people involved here. But all the characters are just amazing. They're genuinely good people. They're genuinely good people with good intentions. It's just that now, their wording, their thinking, everything. But like, I still love the story because, like, gosh, I am in love with people who are just genuinely good people. Like, you can just tell that these people, I mean, okay, to a fault, right? Both the main characters are pretty selfless people. Like,
they're very selfless.
It's very, very selfless.
They're overly considerate of other people to the point where even if they're the ones in pain, like, they are the type who, like, they would rather be in pain rather than having somebody else be in pain.
Literally. And that obviously comes to a fault in their relationship because the other is always thinking, oh, but like, I don't want to, That part is frustrating, but it's completely understood given their actual personalities.
Yeah. So it's suitable to the characters. It makes sense in the context of the characters in question.
It was just so cute and fluffy. Like they said, it's like the Japanese version of Heartstopper. Like it literally is just warm vibes. Like you're watching these two teenagers just navigate through their feelings. Like it's confusing for both of them. They both don't understand what's going on. Like it's new for both of them. They're like, what the fuck is this?
Especially because for both of them, they're dealing also with the aspect of accepting their own sexuality.
Yeah,
that. So it's like, this is one part that I really like about it. None of them ever had a moment where they were like, oh, but I'm not gay.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm not. Like, yeah. They never tried to actually deny their sexuality. It was like, no. I like him. Clearly, I like him. But what do I do with it? Yeah.
That was the issue. Emotions, I'm like, you know what? After thinking about it, I like this person.
Exactly.
Now what?
Now what do I do? How do I navigate this when I've never seen a gay relationship? How do I navigate it when I've never been in love myself?
In general.
Exactly.
Not just with the guy, in general. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
Emotion. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, I love Ida. Honest as fuck. Like the man was constantly expressing himself. Like he really does not lie.
He does not lie.
He is straight up like, listen, I've been feeling a certain kind of way, and I just didn't know how to approach it.
Exactly.
I didn't know what to say, and I don't want to start talking and then confuse you without understanding how
exactly. Because honestly, man, Ida could have sat there and not taken any of Aoki's emotions into consideration, especially after like the misunderstanding of Aoki, like the first misunderstanding, which is him assuming that Aoki likes it, right? So that he could have just sat there and been like, okay, Aoki likes me, that's none of my business. I don't care. Like, what am I? Like, I'm not going to be responsible for that. But instead, he just sat there and was like, you know what? He likes me, and I need to seriously consider how I feel about him before I come back and tell him how I feel. Because I want to take responsibility for his emotions.
Love.
Literally.
I'm not going to waste his time.
I'm not going to. Exactly.
I need to understand.
I need to understand where I'm at mentally before I come in and be like, oh, Aoki, no, I don't like you. Or, oh, Aoki, or whatever. He's just like, no. I haven't really been paying attention to him. Now I want to pay attention to him to fully assess how I feel about him before I give him a reply.
He was constantly saying things that one would like. It's like an awkward thing. Just it's a weird thing. It's what he said it because he feels it.
Exactly.
Like, and for example, him saying, "I'm looking forward to
being with you." Yeah.
It's a weird way to phrase it and whatever.
Exactly, but it's exactly how he's feeling.
Exactly how he's feeling. Yeah, it's like the thought came to his mind and he expressed it. I loved it.
It's very cute. Even with the side couples. Honestly,
what her name? Yeah, she was amazing.
She was amazing. I love my favorite character out of everybody, Hashimoto.
I loved her.
Hashimoto was
adorable, fierce, brave.
Exactly.
Nice as how
she was polite. Like she was just great. Like considerate, polite. She is such a good friend.
She also had the selfless streak.
Exactly. All the characters in this thing had a very, very selfless streak. In fact, the most selfish one, I'll say, is Aida, which is a guy that Hashimoto likes, right? So by default, he's the most selfish, but even he was acting a lot out of consideration of other people. So it's like, I don't know, I just really like selfless characters. And apart from that, the way that the story was executed, the way it was structured, even though like misunderstandings tend to be my least favorite trope personally, but the way that it was done in this, I can't fault it.
You can have a trope that is unlikable. You can have one of those tropes where you're like, oh my god, like, I don't like this trope. But when it's the characters in the, like, it depends on the characters.
Honestly,
it's easy for a trope to be like, oh my god, this trope. It's exhausting to me. I can't do this again. But the characters themselves within the trope, you're like, I'm willing to stay for you.
Yeah,
I get it. I understand why it's like you understand why they are misunderstandings.
We're working with teenagers, for God's sake.
That's the thing. Another thing you'll learn is we give a lot of liberty to the high schoolers versus young students versus the adults.
We take it into consideration how old the characters actually are. So if It's an older character, misunderstanding trope. No,
it's not gonna fly. Also, I see you at your pronoun.
Exactly.
I don't think this is your first life.
Exactly. I don't care. You are grown.
But these are teenagers. They don't understand what's going on. Like, they just feel these emotions and they're going with it.
Exactly.
I love it.
So,
where do we put this little gem?
I don't want to change anything about her.
I also didn't change it. You know what the funny thing is? Initially when I watched this drama, I think I had things that I wanted to do. I was like, I don't like this trope.
Yeah. I think a lot of the thing that held me back at the beginning was my personal dislike.
Yes, the personal dislike for the trope.
Because it's frustrating. But to be entirely honest, like looking back at it in retrospect, I wouldn't change it.
I think the misunderstanding was that like it could have been worse. It could have been saying she's sitting on the S plus.
Super superior.
We're not changing her. She was amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the last one for this episode.
Yeah.
So I guess join us back next time when we
just there's a lot more time.
How many? We did some at 91.
We're about to have like a 10 episode.
Yeah, so
situation here.
Yeah, I thought that we would take at least 3, but no ways.
Wow, my God, that was delusional.
And
there's so much more to say because these are the lighthearted ones. There's not a lot to say. Like the ones that are coming next, are you kidding me?
The next
group, there's so much to say.
Anyway, join us next time.
Bye.